Howdy folks, you're watching Deucey Guns, and today we're talking about ThruNite's new TH30 headlamp. Let's take a look at it here. Now real quick, it is a headlamp. It's a 90-degree right angle headlamp. Boy, that thing got hot. But it's 90-degree, oh, there we go. It's 90-degree headlamp right there, and it's powered by one of the most powerful 18650 batteries out there. They have this amazing battery tech that I think they get through Panasonic. I think it's a Panasonic battery underneath the ThruNite labeling. 3100 milliamps. This battery comes with your flashlight. Let's take a look and see what else comes with this flashlight. First of all, let's take off the strap here. It does come with the headlamp strap, of course. And in this side of this box, you have, well, we have another headlamp right here, which I will get to later, the reason why I have two of them. And we got some protection stuff and a whole slew of cool bits and pieces here. Of course, you have the instruction manual, a couple little cards and everything, a couple of spare bits and bobs there. So if you lose an O-ring or the protective cover that goes over your charging port, you're good there. You have a spare mount just in case you rip one of the silicone rings there. You have a spare mount for your headlamp assembly, and you have a clip here. So you can clip this on your pocket as well and not use it as a headlamp, which is what I recommend if you get this light. Full FTC disclosure, I was provided this light free of charge. Actually provided two lights free of charge. I'll get to that later on. But I was provided this light free of charge. Other than that, I was not given any kind of compensation or any kind of instruction to give you a good review. And there are some things that I don't like about this light, which I will get to here shortly. First of all, let's talk about the functions of the light. Number one, you turn it on, and if it's fully charged or between 20% and 100% charge, you will get a blue light at the top. That's a flexible, oh, it's just a flexible button at the very top and has a LED inside it there. When it goes down to 20% or below, it glows red, and when it's right about to die, it starts to flash the top button, and then when it's really about to die, it actually flashes the light itself to let you know that you've got seconds, maybe a minute max, before it goes out and you're in the dark. Double click, you get turbo mode, and that goes to 3,350 lumens. That's a lot of lumens. Now for some reason, now it's pretty dang bright, but for some reason it doesn't feel that bright. It doesn't seem that bright. It doesn't seem 3,000 lumens bright, but it is very bright. It's a very bright light, and it does brighten your way a lot more than something that would be what you would see as 1,500 lumens or 1,000 lumens. So it is pretty bright. Then one of the problems is it gets hot very quickly. It's right now, I mean, it's just been on for less than a minute now, and it is almost uncomfortable to hold. Actually, it's getting to the point where it's uncomfortable to hold. Now, luckily, it only stays on turbo mode for about a minute. Let's see, what's the official? About a minute and a half or so before it dials down to 1,000 lumens, because these little lights at that kind of lumen capacity get hot very quickly to the point where they're almost useless at that higher temperature. And now if you just single click the light, then you go into its normal mode, and you again only have one button here. So you hold down the button and it will cycle through everything here, which we'll do that real quickly. There we go. So we're on low right there, and low is 25 lumens. And then the next step up, instead of medium, it goes to medium/low. So you hold down the button again, and it will go up to 130 lumens in medium/low. Then medium is 352 lumens. Low, medium, and then, or medium low, and then true medium, 350 lumens. Low, medium, and high. High is 1,275 lumens, which that is what you're going to be using this light on for the most part. And again, it's kind of hard to tell how bright this light is because the aperture of the camera does is close down, but it is very bright, very usable out in the wild, which you will see video of that interspersed throughout this video. And there are two specialty modes here. We have Firefly mode. You have the flashlight off, you hold down the button, and it turns on to half a lumen, and that's there to read a map at most, basically. It's very, very dim, but it will last forever too, by the way. Basically, the lighter it is, the less bright your light is, the longer the battery will last. That's pretty much common sense. You guys should know that. Let's see, that'll last 32 days with this big 18650 battery. But another specialty mode is you turn it on like normal and you hold down the one button until it goes all the way beyond high, to SOS mode. So we have SOS right here. I'm not really thrilled this is here because you have to cycle through this mode every time. If you turn on your light and you're at medium mode and you want to go down to low, you got to hold down that button until it cycles through medium, medium high, or you got to go medium, then high, then SOS, then low, and then medium low. So you got to go through this whole rigmarole, including the flashy mode here, before you get to the mode you need. I'm not really a big fan of that. I wish there was a way to kind of speed through that, but there's not. Now, I spent a couple weeks testing this flashlight, and I found out a few things, a few good things, a few bad things. Number one, the good stuff, the really good stuff is the fact that they underestimated how long this thing will last in high mode, which is pretty cool. You turn it on high mode, and it lasted, in the real world, it lasted 1 hour and 50 minutes. 1 hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. But the instructions only state that you can get 1.5 hours out of it. So that's an extra 20 minutes that I was not expecting. Most companies overestimate, ThruNite underestimated, at least in this situation. And like all of my flashlight reviews, I put it through the Water Bucket of Truth challenge, where I turned on the highest mode, which in this case was turbo mode, and I tossed it in a bucket of water to see how long it lasts. Well, in this case, it only lasted 50 minutes. So 50, it only lasted it almost lasted 1 hour, but not quite. Whereas in the instruction manual, it says it should last about 1 hour and 5 minutes. Should last at the turbo mode for 1.5 minutes, and then drop down to a little under high. It drops down to 1,000 lumens after 1.5 minutes due to heat. Well, when it's in the water, the heat is taken off a lot faster. So it doesn't drop down from turbo to high mode until much later. So it's probably at the turbo mode for several minutes versus just 1.5 minutes, and it drains the battery much faster. And then of course it does drop down to high mode, and it stays there for the remainder of the test. And like all of my other ThruNite flashlights, there was 0 water intrusion. Even this little flap here, because it has a little flap, this rubber flap there that is there to protect the charging circuitry. And it's just naked charging circuitry right there. And there wasn't a bit of water in there. Now, if I left this in the surf in the ocean, would water get in there? Probably. But in a normal just splash type environment, or just in a static bucket of water, no problem at all. To fully charge this big 18650 battery, which is included with your flashlight here, it's a great big huge, what was it, 3100 milliamp hour. That is a pretty dang big battery. And it took 2 hours and 20 minutes to charge completely from flat all the way to fully charged using a very strong charger. So again, basically it's a normal phone charger. As far as impacts are concerned, it is very rugged light. Turn on turbo there, we'll go ahead and drop it. It didn't even turn off. It did not even turn off there. And now let's talk about the bad regarding the ThruNite TH30, because there are some bad things about this light as well, which you need to know about before you put down your hard-earned money. Number one is, even though it is very, very strong as far as impact resistance, as far as water resistance goes, perfect for those two, it is not very heat resistant. I did a couple of tests to see how long it would take to drain on the battery, and by the second one, this one had died. I've got 2 of them now. This one completely died. It basically melted the circuitry inside. It even shows fully charged. Nothing. Per the instructions, you're not supposed to have this light on high for more than 10 minutes at a time, and you got to let it cool off, which kind of stinks. I don't like that, but it thing does get really hot, like 130, 140 degrees hot, Fahrenheit by the way. So basically the light is too hot to hold after you've used it for a little while in the high mode, or anything above medium. It gets too hot to handle after a couple of minutes. So that, and it also gets too hot for the circuitry after 10 minutes or so. So that's a negative. The awkward UI, user interface, that's kind of a negative. Also, it is just too heavy to use as a headlamp very often. If this is going to be your primer, if you need a headlamp, if you use like, I need a headlamp that's really, really good, I cannot recommend the TH30. Now, it really is meant to be a headlamp, and it's a very bright headlamp. It's very, very bright as a headlamp goes. But it is too awkward, it's too big and bulky. Any of the headlamps that are heavy enough to have that middle strap that goes over the top, I don't like. I'm not a fan. I like the ones that are light enough to only have the one strap, the one headband going around. That's the kind of headlamps I want, which I'll show you an example from ThruNite that is a better choice if that's what you want. If you just need just a headlamp, this isn't it. But if you need a good right angle light that you can clip on your pocket to use or anywhere else, and occasionally you might want to use it as a headlamp, then yeah, this is probably a good choice, a TH30, because it does work that. It does do that. It does function as a headlamp, but it's just awkward and heavy. You need two hands to cycle through the modes, because when you try to push that button, the whole rigmarole up here is moving around on you. Now, if you're only looking for a headlamp, you need a good headlamp and that's all you need, then ThruNite does have you covered there with a TH20. This is my go-to light. This is a great light. It's a AA battery. It operates on a AA battery or a 14500 lithium-ion battery, one of the two. Of course, the lithium-ion option gives you a little more power, but a AA also works in a pinch. And you turn it on there, you got one single button there on the side, and it works great. And of course, you got turbo mode and all that good stuff. I've got a video review of this as well. And of course, they still sell these. I'll put a link up here to that one. But it's a better headlamp. If you just need a headlamp, the TH20 is not only a better option than the TH30, it is also cheaper. This runs about 30 bucks on Amazon, and the TH30 is more like 70. So again, you get a bigger light, a better light overall with the TH30, but you pay for it with both money, weight, and awkwardness. So a lot of downsides with this, but if you can live with them, if you need the upsides, that is the extra power and the extra bigger battery, then yeah, go for it. But if you just need a headlamp, the TH20 is probably the better option. Well guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and go subscribe. A lot more is on the way. And remember, there will be links to Amazon and to ThruNite themselves in both the description and in the comments below the video. Of course, if you have any comments, questions, or show what it is, leave that in the comment box below the video. And of course, you guys have a great day. See ya.